Welcome to the SCAC Reminding Podcast, a series of short episodes with a variety of speakers, covering topics on organization transformation, entrepreneurship, people, and leadership.
So I'd like to close our podcast today with a final comment about SCAC and what SCAC can do with you to move forward in planning, designing innovation ecosystems. One of the first things is to consider our design thinking training series. We have a curriculum based on the D School at Stanford University that is taught by Thai facilitators on how to run essentially the core engine of innovation. This is a very dynamic class, is very effective, and we think that this is incredibly important to know as part of the internal engine, if you would, of an innovation ecosystem. The second course that I strongly recommend, especially for leaders or line managers, is the outward mindset. Outward mindset is considered to be absolutely critical, if not foundational, to sponsoring teams so that there's an understanding that the ultimate innovation of being in and around and understanding the experiences of your customers is critical. That comes through an empathetic mindset. Outward mindset gives you the tools and the techniques and the understanding of how I can shift how I look at the world by becoming more empathetic, both for internally with my teams as well as externally with customers. An additional thing you can do is to talk to us about running a design sprint that will help you build a roadmap for planning and implementing an innovation ecosystem. We do this through our contextualized solution services, where we actually bring trained, advanced facilitators to your company and work with a small group of team to actually come up with a working prototype on paper as far as what you should do in order to take the next step. Consider it a prototype that you can pitch to your executive team on what are the opportunities to build an innovation ecosystem. An additional thing you can do is, now that the international standard of innovation management is emerging through ISO 56000, you can actually go in and do a capabilities assessment on all your systems and people. And this will give you essentially a benchmark position against the international standard as to where you are. And finally, I'd like to suggest probably a more complex but yet straightforward and impactful workshop that's based on Zone to Win, a book that Jeffrey Moore has written that I have actually worked with now with many companies trying to define how can they structure, plan, and measure their ability to simultaneously run both innovation projects as well as managing the core business at the same time. So with that, I leave you a very fond farewell and my best wishes in managing all that we see today, and hope you stay happy and healthy. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, William. Listeners, in our next episode, we'll be having a discussion with Kun Piyada Thana Tawirat on the topic of Future Talent Academy.